Welcome to the Kit Stock for Schools detailed construction guide for the FK109 2LED flasher kit. As with most of our kits, begin by inserting the lowest profile components first, in this case the resistors. Bend the legs at each end of the resistor carefully and you'll find that they match with the hole spacing. Put the resistors through right flat with the board and then solder them into position. It's a good practice to try and orient the resistors always in the same way. A trick is use the gold band at one end and keep it at that end. It's not essential, just good practice. Watch here as we stop the offcuts from flying around. Again, a good habit to get into. One thing you will find is sometimes with your components, they won't line up quite properly on the board. As you turn the board over, like this one, they may fall out. What we do is we tend to just solder one leg at a time, then flip the board back and check, adjust the position, correct the position, and then solder in the final legs. You'll see this is repeated quite a few times during the construction of this little kit. Next up, we'll be inserting the transistors. When you look at the board, you'll notice the transistor outline forms like a capital D and the legs are spaced in a triangular pattern. You'll need to therefore first of all bend the legs carefully to form that triangle. Line up the board and the transistor correctly and then insert the legs. The first one is sometimes a bit tricky, but you will find there's a knack and it's not too difficult. Don't force the transistor all the way down. Leave an air gap between the printed circuit board and the body of the transistor. You'll find that it naturally tends to settle at a comfortable position. Once again, when you're happy, solder them in and you'll see we do solder one leg, check the position and correct, and then solder them in. Next is the Trimpot or trimming potentiometer, adjustable potentiometer. You'll notice there's a series of holes on the board for these. That's because they may be a variety of different suppliers who have different sizes. Technique we do is solder just the one pin, check position. Sometimes it does spring out. You'll find some of them will actually clip into position. This particular one, not so. Get it in position and solder. Installing the LEDs, pay particular attention to the legs on the LEDs. Polarity matters. They have to go the right way around if they're going to work. The longer leg goes to the positive side of the circuit, anode in technical terms. You'll see the drawing of the LED. The back of the triangle is the anode. With the longer leg to the back, once again, solder one leg, check and adjust, then solder the others. The LEDs in particular are what draws the eye, so when the project is finished, you do want them in the best position that you can manage. Repeat the activity with the electrolytic capacitors. Again, the longer leg is the anode, the positive. On the capacitors also, you'll find that the body has got a very big clear marking for the negative, and on the printed circuit board there is a little plus sign beside the hole that takes the anode. Most people find it fairly intuitive, but you must get them the right way round. Next is the stakes. These are inserted from the back of the board. And when you come to solder these in, use a generous amount of solder. Leave your soldering iron on them for a while so they heat up completely, and the solder will actually fill the hollow stake, and then leave quite a dome on the base, over the base and the board. The reason for this is you want to add thermal mass, because we're going to solder on the other side, and we just want to have the surface of the solder reflow, not the whole lot. Some students don't use enough solder on the base, and when they come to connect the battery snaps, they find the stakes fall out of the board. An easy solution is to add more solder. Tinning makes this next step of the soldering process much easier. Finally, we're ready to connect the battery and check that it's all working. If the LEDs jump into life, we're away, and you can adjust the flashing rate quite easily. Don't overstress the potentiometer, the Trimpot. It's a temptation for students to overdo that and bust it. If you're interested, we offer very detailed student construction guides in hard copy, which are available for free from us. This kit forms a part of our popular 6 Starter Pack Bonanza, and this offers a graduated learning into electronic projects. For pricing, availability and more information on this kit, or any of our other kits, please visit our website. Links to our website and our email contact details are all listed below in the description section of this video. Thanks for watching this, and please feel free to visit the website or drop us an email.